It was an ordinary day at the orphanage. The children were playing in the garden, while Miss Ophelia was inside the house, preparing dinner for everyone. The two newest orphans, Bess and Gertie, sat quietly on a nearby tree stump watching the other children play. "Do you think we could ever be like them?" Gertie asked Bess, her eyes fixed on a group of children playing hopscotch. Bess shrugged. "I don't know, but I do know that if we stay here much longer, we won't have to wonder." Now, when Bess and Gertie arrived at the orphanage, they didn't know why they were there or who had brought them. The only thing they knew about their past was the name of their hometown, Green Gables. But Green Gables could be anywhere. And after weeks at the orphanage with no visitors, the girls began to lose hope that anyone was even looking for them. Miss Ophelia came out the back door with a pitcher of lemonade and saw the girls sitting on the stump. "Would you like some lemonade?" she asked. The girls nodded, and Miss Ophelia sat down next to them. "You haven't been playing with the other children," she said. "Why not?" "We just wanted to watch for a while," Gertie replied. "You shouldn't feel shy," Miss Ophelia said gently. "These children are your new family now. You're all I have, and I love you like a mother. You should love each other too." The girls looked at each other, and then Bess stood up. "You're right, Miss Ophelia," she said. "I'm going to go play with the others now." And with that, she ran over to join the children in their game. Gertie watched her sister leave before turning back to the house. She couldn't help but feel sad. All she wanted was a family who loved her, but she didn't know if the other children would ever accept her. As the evening drew on, the sky darkened and the wind picked up. Soon it became clear that a storm was coming. Miss Ophelia blew out the candles on the birthday cake and sang happy birthday to Anne, one of the older girls. As they ate their supper, they talked about everything from school to the latest fashion trends. Anne was especially excited because tomorrow was her birthday. "I'm going to be 12, she said with a big smile. "Can you believe it? I feel like I've only been at the orphanage for a few days, but I've actually been here for over a year. Time flies when you're having fun." After supper, the children gathered around the fireplace while Miss Ophelia prepared for bed. Suddenly, a loud clap of thunder made the children jump. "Oh, I hate storms," and cried, hiding her face behind Diana's shoulder. "Don't be scared, Anne," said a familiar voice. It was Bess. "I'll protect you." Bess helped Anne into bed and tucked her in, then sat down next to her. "There's nothing to be afraid of," she said. "A little rain never hurt anyone." "But what if it floods?" Anne asked, her voice trembling. "It won't flood," Bess assured her. "Just close your eyes and listen to the rain. It's actually quite relaxing." As the storm raged outside, the children slept soundly in their beds. The next morning, the sun was shining brightly and the birds were singing merrily. The children ran out into the garden to play. "What a beautiful day," said Diana, taking a deep breath. "I can't remember the last time I felt this happy." "Me neither," replied Anne. "This is the perfect day for a picnic." "A picnic," repeated several voices, and the children cheered. "That sounds like fun," said Gertie, but she wasn't smiling. "What's wrong, Gertie?" asked Miss Ophelia, who had come out to see what all the commotion was about. "Why aren't you getting ready for the picnic?" "I don't want to go," Gertie mumbled. "Oh, Gertie," said Miss Ophelia, kneeling down in front of her. "You can't hide from your problems forever. You have to face them at some point." Gertie looked up at her with tears in her eyes. "But I don't want to face them," she whispered. "I wish someone would just tell me what I did so I could make it right." Suddenly, an idea struck Miss Ophelia. She had heard the townspeople talking about a mysterious benefactor who had been leaving baskets of food on the doorsteps of poor families in Green Gables. Could Gertie's family be one of them? Gertie, she said, do you remember anything about your family or where you lived? Gertie thought for a moment. I think my dad worked at the harbor, she finally said. And I remember a big oak tree near our house. It had a hole in it that we used to climb through. Miss Ophelia smiled. Then that's where we're going today, she said. We're going to find your family, Gertie. I promise. Gertie's face lit up with joy. Really? She exclaimed. Oh, thank you, Miss Ophelia. The children ran as fast as they could to the oak tree. When they arrived, they found that it had been chopped down and was now just a stump. But Miss Ophelia wasn't discouraged. She knew that somewhere nearby was Gertie's family waiting to be reunited with her. She looked around the stump and noticed a small hole. Could this be the hole that Gertie had mentioned? She put her hand in and felt something hard. She reached in again and pulled out a small box. Inside the box, they found 4 pieces of fabric, each with a different letter embroidered on it. G, E, R, and T. It dawned on them that the letters stood for Gertie, and each piece of cloth was a clue leading them closer to her family. The first piece of fabric led them to the harbor where Gertie's father worked. They found him sitting on a bench, looking out at the water. When he saw Gertie, he ran over and hugged her tightly. My little girl, he said, his voice trembling. I've been looking for you everywhere. The second piece of fabric led them to a house on the hill. When Gertie knocked on the door, an elderly woman opened it and gasped in surprise. Why, it's you, she said. I knew it was you the moment I heard your knock. The woman ushered Gertie inside and gave her a big hug. I've missed you so much, my dear, she said. I knew you'd come back for me someday. The third piece of fabric led them to a bakery, where they met a kind old man who had been friends with Gertie's family. He had taken care of Gertie's cat, Toodles, since she had left home. When he saw Gertie, he dropped the pastry he was holding and hugged her. Oh, my dear, he said, I've missed you so much. Finally, the fourth piece of fabric led them to a little cottage on the outskirts of town. When Gertie knocked on the door, a young girl opened it and smiled. You must be Gertie, she said. I'm your little sister, Dot. Dad's been telling us so much about you. Gertie stepped inside and was greeted by a warm fire and a big hug from her dad. Oh, my darling, he said, we've waited so long for you to come home. And that's how Gertie found her way back to her real family. From that day on, she visited Miss Ophelia and the other children at the orphanage whenever she could. She never forgot the kindness that Miss Ophelia had shown her, helping her to find her way back home. The end.